Alrighty guys, welcome back to Formula 1 Racing with Florida Racing here. And so we've got the team. We are here in Australia. We've got Mick Schumacher across the way from us, and we are going to be going racing here. So let's take a look at what we got. We already got qualifying done, which was not what we wanted at all. We got a weather forecast. Looks like potentially we could get some rain at the end of the race. We will have to see how that all works. But yeah, qualifying did not go well. Also too, we got a little friendly rivalry going on with Nick DeVries, our former driver, so we're going to be having fun with that. But yeah, we're going to be starting all the way in the back due to, unfortunately, the car's spinning around here at Australia like we almost always have. So anyways, we're going to go head to the track, then we're going to select our setup and stuff, see if there's anything we can work on and switch around to be able to make sure that our car handles a tad bit better, and then we will get into the racing content here. So let's go racing in Australia. Formula 1, here we go.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal. And it's make or break here at Albert Park, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. And home to round one of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy circuit with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake and a couple of good passing opportunities here as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into turns 1, 3 and 13. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Sainz, Charles Leclerc and Albon, Gasly, Kvyat, Ricciardo and Nobuharu Matsushita, Norris, Perez, Lance Stroll and Schumacher, Magnussen, Latifi, Antonio Giovinazzi and George Russell, Ocon, De Vries, Correa and the Rainmaster. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Alright guys, by popular demand, we brought back the fade shirts here. We got the red and the green. All nice looking there, so really cool. So let's take a look at race strategy. What we are going to do here is we got ourselves the soft tires. What we're going to check here is what do we got going on in here. So that's what we got set up. Looking to see if there's anything we can do to kind of... It seems like the car doesn't really grip the track, so I'm wondering if we soften a bit of the suspension, that might help us out just a tad. Also going to lower the car as well, just to see if that helps. We got a little bit less on the brake pressure, so that should hopefully help. We're going to lower our tire pressure slightly in the front and rear, try to get a little bit more grip. So we'll just see if that helps. We're just really trying to work on being able to make sure the car grips the track versus not, because that's our main issue that we're having here. So I think we got that where we wanted to be. Let me see here. Alrighty, we got our race strategy and our fuel load set up for what we're going to be running. So let's see what we do here going into race. Nice and easy, slow in the back, that's what we need to do. So we're going to see how well we do it. Probably not too well. Luckily, we got Mick Schumacher up there in the front. He actually did a pretty good job qualifying, so congrats to him. So let's see what we can do here for Florida Racing back at our terrible stomping grounds, Australia. Haven't had much luck at this track. Maybe that'll turn around today. Let's see. And off we go, everybody taking off a little bit on the slow side there, all bunched up. And they are headed out to first turn. We're going to come in nice and easy behind them. As I said, our main goal is to survive this race if we can, and not to kill ourselves, because that's what we do almost every time at this track that we've come to it, and we don't need to do that. A little bit of a caution here in this sector as everybody's nice and slow. So everybody gets spread out. That should help us be able to maneuver the traffic a little bit better. Now we locked up the differential. Totally saw how those guys were going to handle that turn. We locked up our differential just a little bit, and it does seem like the car's a little bit more stable at the exact moment, which is something that I've been desperately in need of on this track, is a stable car. And so far, yep, thanks man. And so we're going to keep on moving here. Car felt pretty good through there. We're also not pushing it beyond its limits, so I think that's going to help us out, all things considered. Surviving the race is definitely very important today, as that's going to help us have a nice clean race. Hopefully get some good resource and development from our cars here. We definitely can get past some of these guys if we wanted to. It's just, do we want to? And we do. Because we're going to take away this spot as this guy's slow. We'll go ahead and slow down here. So we got one position over DeFries. Hello, sir. He's not having a good start to his season. All the way in the back already. So yeah, just remembering my braking zones on this track, that's one of the biggest things. Also, we got a little bit less than 100% tire pressure, so that makes my braking just a little bit on the smoother side. So the team did a good job getting a lot of good development in, so the tires there just a tad. But so far, we're having probably our cleanest start to an Australian race that we've ever had. A little bit off into the grass there, get back on track. I think the free's going to be on the outside. Yeah, he made a mistake, alright. He shoved me into the grass. It's all that. Luckily able to catch the car off those rumble strips. It always gets very swirly off of those. So, and it does look like we have some cloud cover moving in. So that could be that rain slowly moving into the track. Now I need to get back up to DeFries here, because he can help me manage my track. Because following somebody else really does help you. Yep. And so, very good. But yeah, see, having DeFries in front of me really just helps me visualize where I need to brake. So I think that's part of the thing that we've been needing to do a lot more, is really be able to be behind somebody to learn the track just a little bit better, see where everyone's running, and be able to get our best awareness possible. So we're in our 4th season as a not NASCAR, well, we are a NASCAR owner too, but as a F1 team owner and driver. But we definitely needed to, in some of these circuits, really put in the learning. So right now we're being real easy on our fuel and everything. Getting a lot of pep talk from our crew chief. A little bit off there. But yeah, see, I'm really being able to learn my line quite well here. So that's really helping me out at the moment. Ooh, everybody checking up there. Big Freeze trying to block me here. And we got into Carrera. That's going to give us a little bit of wing damage, but yeah, we had DeFries there just really blocking us up. And he kind of messed up our our braking zone there. That ended up getting us a wee bit of wing damage there. Gave us contact with Carrera. So I guess DeVries is kind of taking the whole rivalry a little bit more seriously than I had anticipated here. Into my turns better. But also, he is driving the Alfa Romeo, so Alfa Romeo does seem to have some sort of hate relationship with me for some reason. Not totally sure why. Caught the car. Almost lost the car there, back just a little bit. Ooh, challenge completed. We had a record at Australia. Not sure what that means, but we did a good job apparently. Correct. Finally got some of my buttons moved around and figured out as well, so the steering wheel is a little bit more, not the actual steering wheel, but my virtual steering wheel, is actually doing a pretty good job with the button setups. Had a lot of work redesigning where to get everything set up there in the shop, and the crew was able to do that. Just went ahead and redid all my buttons and whatnot for my controller, but the team definitely had to do a lot of work with me, and we got a pretty good setup going on where everything is, so I think I've memorized it for the most part in the off season, and so far everything is working pretty well. So we've had a pretty, for the most part, a clean race. We're not doing that good position wise, but you know what, I'm fine with that. And yep, I always get happy in that corner, so just gotta make sure I watch out for that. So we switched to standard. We're going to try and run this for the rest of the race. We are pretty good on fuel, so I don't think we have any issues. Switching that differential has definitely helped to stiffen the car up, so I definitely like that change. And DeVries is really putting the power down on these straights. And be on the what? Did he say hards? It's supposed to be mediums. I'm not sure what he's talking about there. And he distracted me. And let's get back going here. I was trying to figure out what in the world he was talking about and distracting me from my braking zone. You know what, if we finish this race with only that little bit of contact, I will be fine with that. As I said, we also got that weird potential of rain coming into the forecast, so we gotta watch that. The car definitely doesn't quite have enough turn at the moment. Seems like it's not quite responding like it should, and that's probably because, one, of the wing, but also, two, me missing my braking zones. Also, we're losing that tire grip as well, so that's switching things up. A little bit over the curb, more than we wanted to be. Over the curb, into the grass, car got loose. Try and gain some speed down this straight. We will not miss our braking zone, hallelujah. Definitely getting plenty of practice, which I like. A safety car would be nice, though. I'm surprised we didn't get one for that contact with Carrera, though. But luckily he was able to continue and is still going. I'm not sure if he pitted or not. He's still got the soft tires on, so I'm going to assume that he didn't, as we hit those turtles through there and get kind of loose. Yeah, we're getting some pretty good cloud cover, so that's switching the track up just a little bit. And tire wear definitely is starting to take effect on the handling of the car. And I haven't seen my time to pit pop up yet, so we will wait and see when that comes in, probably this next lap. Yeah, well, Carrera's got a mission, and that's to get back up to the front if he can. Gonna go off into the grass a little bit, back on. Survival, that is the thing that we were trying to do here in Australia, is survive this track. So far we're doing a decent job of that. So we will be pitting here as we get ready to come around. See, everybody's switching to the mediums. Looks like a lot of people have already had their pits and stuff. And Daniel Ricciardo, forgot about it, he moved to McLaren. So he is no longer with Renault. We'll have to see if our bit of rivalry continues on after that move or not. Got Ocon back here racing a Renault. That's kind of cool. Trying to kind of keep a position here for the moment. He's on new tires and we're actually keeping him behind us, which is kind of neat. Also, he's not a lap ahead of us, so we can keep him back there if we needed to, and we do. Get him to the pit road, we'll let him pass as we drive in the grass. Let's see what we got. We're going to switch the strategy to mediums here. And we are going to add... Now we're going to leave everything the same because the car's driving good. We're just going to have to be careful on our outlap with these tires. Go ahead and run rich here through the pit lane, burn off some extra fuel. Alright, guys, got the brand new, put on the brand new wings, so we should have the downforce back that we need. Got some serious sun glare there. So we gotta get these tires warmed up. We are back in the back here. Carrera's actually made his pit stop already, I guess. Which is interesting. Be nice and easy on these tires on the outlap because they are pretty chill. And we need to make sure we can get them all the way to the end of the race here. Teammate is in the pits, so we got Mick in there. Little Shoe, there we go. We got Little Shoe in the pits. That's a great name, I like that. So Little Shoe's currently in the pits. We're going to be seeing how he does here at the finish. Haven't really seen where he's running for sure. It seems like he's probably having a pretty good day so far. And we'll see if we can run some rich fuel mixture here for the rest of the race. With how much our fuel saving has been, definitely seems like we're doing really good with our pickup and all of that on the fuel. What we might be able to then do is we get real wide through there. Don't like that. We might be able to start taking even less of a fuel load, which will make us a little bit lighter and quicker. So that might be an advantage we can try to employ. And totally missed the turn there. Once you add that extra mixture, you definitely gain some power, but it's like with that power you also have a much larger braking zone and a much differently handling car. And so it takes a lot to get used to it, that's for sure, when you start employing level 3 on the fuel, as I can tell you there. Get those tires cleaned off here. That's nice. Hopefully that means they drop back and we don't have to finish last. So Latifi there having an issue. Sounds like he's going to be dropping back some, hopefully. So yeah, one thing is that a lot of our chassis and improvements went out the window along with our aero, so we've got a lot of work to catch up on this season. So car definitely doesn't handle quite as well as it did as we go back through the grass. Doing a little promotional for our new landscaping business with these cars. Sun glare getting real bad over here. Look at that. There's some nasty sun glare through there. So luckily we're getting our braking zones where we needed to be, so that's nice. Yep, sounds about right. So you say, why aren't you up there leading stuff? Well, because one, I already knew that this is one of my worst tracks. I did tons of practice on this track. Still aren't doing that good, honestly, although I am doing a better job at not damaging my car spinning around. Charles Leclerc is out of the session. That gains us a position. Hallelujah. We will not be the final car finishing today's race. Alright, so rain potentially coming in, and I was thinking about that and didn't pay attention to my turn. That can, let's see, we got about 4 laps remaining here. There's the DNF of Leclerc. We're coming up on him. Okay, so Leclerc is in this area here. There he is. So we will not finish last today, so that's nice. I haven't seen where Mick is. He hasn't popped up in my feed on where I'm running, so that means he's at least in the top 16, hopefully. So that's certainly nice. So rain is imminent, so that could change up a whole lot of strategy if it starts to downpour really bad. That could bring a lot of people to the pits, and depending on when that happens, that could be a good thing for us, because we might be able to continue racing in the rain and get past them all. But I wouldn't hold my breath too much for that one. Would be kind of neat, but as I said, I wouldn't expect anything from that. So these medium tires have worn in pretty good. Car's handling very nicely. I like how it's handling very well. And the good. And the locked up differential seems to have greatly improved the handling on the cars, so definitely like that, as once again we miss our braking zone a tad there. And we haven't been lapped, so we're definitely running some decent lap times, because usually in the previous, well, so we had a lot of damage on those previous races too. But yeah, it's nice not to be getting lapped while running back here. And also they're not 40 seconds ahead of us to the next car, so that's nice. Yep, so right there, not 40 seconds, 15 seconds. I don't think we're really gaining that much on him though, but still it's nice not to have that absolutely insane amount of a gap between us. Alright, we're coming to about 2 laps to go here. Rain is potentially coming. Totally missed that. A bit of a caution there just for debris. From my wing mostly, from digging into the grass there. I need to lighten up my brake pressure just a tad bit more for the next race. So currently no rain to be seen yet on track. So once that does hit, and they should be hitting the line pretty close there behind me, more than likely whoever's leading. So potentially, if rain were to start here really soon, we might get a few spots if those guys in the back decide to come and get tires. There we go. I think we probably have Verstappen back there behind us coming up. He's on his final lap. And if we let him lap us, we can end this race a little bit early. Interesting. A little bit less wear on the car. Well, you know what? We're already going to finish back here. That actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. Just go ahead and switch over to lean here, and we'll let him get past us. Because one lap less of wear on the car won't hurt. So that will bring our race to the end. We will be lapped, but you know what? That's fine. As I said, one last lap run on this chassis so we can do a little bit of fixing on it and hopefully be able to get it ready for the next race. There we go. We'll bring it home.
Red Bull pulling out all the stops today. What a great win. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. So let's review the updated driver standings. Today's performance means Max Verstappen now owns the top spot in the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull take over as championship leaders. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Alrighty, so there we go. Mike Schumacher, or Little Schu, able to get ourselves into the top 14, so able to keep his position on the grid. So great job by him doing what he needs to do to stay consistent. Definitely a good day for him. We ended up falling back pretty far, and well, actually we didn't fall much at all. We ended up getting past Leclerc there technically, so we gained a spot. But yeah, you get the point. A lap down, wasn't the best race, but we were able to keep minimum damage on the car, so we should be able to reuse that car for a good bit of the season. And luckily as well, we were able to keep pretty consistent lap time, so hopefully that will help us out here in the future. Alright guys, so we're back here, so let's go ahead and look at what we got going on activity wise. So let's see here. We've got driver promotion we can do power, team building, we can do simulator training, etc. Let me see where our morale is. Morale's pretty decent, so we're going to go ahead and get some simulator training in for our driver. Go ahead and get as much as we can done for him. Let's see what we can do R&D wise. We got 1,600 resource points. Let's see, we got the fuel. We're working on this chassis quite a bit. Major weight reduction on the engine. That could be helpful. Heat dispersing wheel rims. That could also be helpful. Suspension geometry. Brake disc width, that would improve our braking. That would also be helpful in front nose cone structure. That could also get us some ultimate weight reduction there as well. These are all pretty expensive, so let me check on over here. Let's see, we got some engine that we can do. We've got this over here, which is locked up for some reason. Unavailable. Why? Oh, that's because that's getting done. Okay, never mind about that. That makes sense. So let's see. Then we need to get some more aerodynamics back to where we were. So let's see. That would give us a major boost there, major front downforce. That would be helpful. This would help drag reduction. That would help with major DRS, and this would help with major drag reduction there, front wing end plates. A lot we can end up doing that will really help us in the aerodynamic game. Let's go ahead and see here. Let's go ahead and get this one done right here, just because, well, actually, no, let's go ahead and just get our front wing done. That'll be good. We'll get that done. So that is now in the works, and we're going to be, that's going to give us a major boost once that is finished. Coming over here, we do have some cheaper upgrades that we can do, but we won't worry about that right now as we're out of spendable resource points. Looking at the R&D progress, currently, as you can see, after the race there, everybody dropped at the end of the season for the most part, except for Red Bull, who jumped up in front of Mercedes. Everybody else, though, is on a pretty tall spiral there. We got our 4 sponsors. All that is working out. So let me see, can we upgrade any of our facilities? We got marketing that we could do stuff with. Let's see, what do we have? Build quality, resource. You can get some more generation at 200 where we do need that. And by the way, that car looks beautiful there. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful lighting in the facility. Let's see, we could get resource in the chassis department. Let's go ahead and get chassis department upgraded. That's going to give us a pretty low amount of money, but you know what? We're going to get it done. So that's advance time. Got our training done with Little Shoe.
New developments to come through, but some of them have failed the quality control.
Right.
Make sure you indicate what you'd like redeveloped via the R&D scheme.
Alright, we don't have the funds that we need there at the moment, so we'll have to work with them later. But coming up, we've got Bahrain, Season 4, Round 2. This is one of the tracks added in, so this should be interesting. So that's going to be next up on the schedule. We will see you guys there for, of course, the Bahrain International Circuit Grand Prix. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Plus, also, don't forget to check out the merch shop for Florida racing merchandise on mugs, shirts, hats, etc. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot. And we'll see you guys here next time with Florida Racing in Formula 1. Bye-bye.